Hi, out there, my brothers and sisters in Omega Radio Land. This is Catherine Shapiro, the host of the Creative Space, talking art, music, and all things creative, along with my wonderful partner on the show, Miss Jeanette Jordan from Creations of the Heart Art. How
Good
are you this morning, Miss
morning.
Jeanette?
Oh, I am having a good day. It's a blessed day. It really is. How are you?
I'm terrific.
That's great.
It has
Uh,
been an amazing weekend and a terrific day this morning.
Really?
Rained
It
a little
has.
bit, cloud a little bit, rushed a little bit, but you know what? You got to the church on time.
Yes. That's the most important thing, getting to the church on time. I think there's a song like that back in the
Absolutely.
1960s.
I have had a message from our good friend who was designated to appear today, Mr. Ken Midler, wonderful soul journey musician. He's had another appointment today, but he will be back, I am sure, and hopefully to become a regular contributor in regards to music in the creative space.
Wow, that's fantastic. I love music. Everybody can relate to music. That's my number one thing. When I hear a good song, especially praise and worship, oh, I get into it. I love music. I'm one of those that I love music.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. It's a universal language.
yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we ready for the word today? Because I think this is gonna be a good one.
Fabulous. Go for it, sister.
Okay. Well, the title of it is "Laid It on the Altar." Hmm. God tested and proved Abraham and said to him, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. God said, Take now your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah and offer him there as a burnt offering upon the mountains for which I will tell you, Genesis 22:1-2. Joyce begins to say about how she recently led the Lord, use her, because she had to prove herself. So the thing is, when we lay everything out for God, He blesses us, He tests us. So I'm going to read the last paragraph of what she said here. It seemed God was asking me to give up every work He had given me, which He blessed many others as well as me. But God wasn't asking me to give up my ministry. He was just asking me to lay it on the altar, just like Abraham laid Isaac on the altar before the Lord. We must not let anything, even our work for God, become more important to us than God Himself. To keep that from happening from time to time, God calls upon us to lay it all on the altar as proof of our love and commitment to Him. He tests us by asking us to lay it down, our most treasured blessing, as proof of our love to Him.
Hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
That is
So
interesting. And as we
it's
recall the
very
end of the
interesting.
story, Abraham was not actually asked to sacrifice Isaac. He was told, look up at the very last moment, and was
Hmm.
offered another sacrifice instead, which means
Exactly,
it's
when the angel stopped him, like the angel stopped him to before he struck, because he did not actually go through the whole thing, right? People who know the story, but we should really elaborate on that. He wasn't
absolutely.
yeah, he never did sacrifice his son, because Lord just tested him to see how far he would go. So when he was about to do it, the angel grabbed his hand and says, "Look, Abraham, stop." And he didn't do it because he proved that. Because see, the story goes, if everybody knows, Abraham, that was his only son. Remember that
Absolutely.
his
Hmm.
wife couldn't conceive. So finally, when she did give birth, oh, he loved that boy to everything. That was his all. And sometimes, as humans, we tend to love something more than what we were supposed to do, like more than God. And God doesn't say to do that. He says, love me more, and you'll see how I open up the heavens for you.
Oh,
Does
I
that make
see.
sense?
So he was calling attention to the fact that Abraham was being extreme in his dedication and his love for Isaac as to, other people and maybe other things that were just as important just as good
Right.
and just as fruitful.
Exactly. So what happens is, there is a verse in the Bible, and I don't know where it is, but maybe someone can help us. If he says, "When I am a jealous God," he has that in there. I am a jealous God. I don't
That's
want no
true.
idols. You're not supposed to worship. So when Abraham was worshiping his son, he loved his son. He said, "Let me see how much you love me. I want you to now go sacrifice, go take your son to the highest mountain
Hmm.
and everything and everything." And when he saw that Abraham was going to go through with him, he stopped him and said, "Now I know," and he says it in the Bible, "Now I know that you really, truly do love me, because you were going to give up the most treasured thing that you have in your life that I gave you for me. Now I know that you love me."
That
So it
is
was like a
really an
test.
interesting point of view. And you know what's
Mhm.
interesting about that in the creative sphere is that there are a lot of fans out there who
Mhm.
are very obsessed with their particular favorite of the day. You know where the word
Yes.
fan comes from? The long part of that word is fanatic, which means
Mm.
an extreme of anything is no
Mhm.
good. What you want to
Mhm.
do is focus your attention on what's proper. Make
Mhm.
sure that the message you're sending is the one that you want to send, that God needs you to send,
Mhm.
and go from that.
Yes,
Obsessiveness on
absolutely.
any front is never good.
No, you got
That's
that
my
right.
personal feeling. If
No,
you're
and it's a
obsessed with
correct one.
something, you ignore other opportunities and chances to do the things that you're really meant and you really should be doing.
That's right. That's
Hmm.
right. And we both have that. And every human has that one thing in their life. And he also says that don't get attached to anything on earth, because in reality we don't take it with us when we pass away and go to
That
heaven, do
is
we?
true.
So why get attached to everything? And I recently just learned that myself. Believe it or not, I'm getting ready for this move. So
Of course.
I sold everything. I'm like, I am not attached to you. And I keep talking to the public. I'm not attached to you. You're leaving. It's so funny. I'm talking. I'm
You
not
know, and it's
attached.
funny how much junk we accumulate in our
Oh my
minds and our
gosh.
places in
Yes.
our closets. So
Uh
there
huh.
is a really good time every so often to get rid of the junk that you're obsessed with
Yes.
and get back to what's real, what's important, and what's good, which is,
Yes.
making time for the people and the things that are really important to you.
Yeah. And sometimes in art too, believe it or not. And let me explain on that. Basically, is like I could give you one testimony where God told me, "I want you to take the little crosses that you made, and I want you to give them away." And I said, "What? I just made those crosses. I don't want to give them away. Those are my little keychains. What are you talking about?" He says, "Do it." I said, "Okay, fine." So I went ahead and we gave it. I was with my friend and she gave it all away and we gave all the crosses away. That very moment, an hour later, I get invited to the biggest event in Texas to sell my
And we are still
merchandise. And
giving
I
some of
made,
those wonderful little
yes,
keychains, crosses
yes, we
away.
do.
If you
Yeah,
call our station in the next few minutes, we can get your contact information and you can receive one if you'll mention our wonderful friend here, Jeanette, and Creations of the Heart Art. If you have something you would love to share with our audience, every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are here to talk to artists, share your stories, and get people in touch with their community. Our number is 1-954-900-4310. If you want to call the station right now, it's 11:10. We'll be here for a little while longer, and we would love to have you. Once again, I'm Catherine Shapiro, host with the
yes, from
most in the
Creative
creative
Space.
space, and this is my good friend Jeanette Jordan.
Yes, Catherine, you're the best. You're always having people over, and you also have to say how wonderful you are, because it always takes someone else to tell you how wonderful you are. That you bring people to you want to elevate them, and you want to go ahead and show who they are and how that is wonderful in your art and creative space. That is wonderful.
Blessings are the one thing that you gain more of by giving them away. That's why I
Mhm.
love those little crosses that we've been spreading the word with about our show, about your wonderful show on
Mhm.
Fridays at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on
Mhm.
YouTube. So we are all together trying to spread the word about creatives, especially women, because they
Yeah.
don't often get a platform
Yeah, they
to.
don't even crafters. Crafters that are women. I don't know why is it that we don't get no one really puts out there that we are there, but we don't get like services. They always publicize, always on commercials. But us women crafters, we never get the light that we need to show that we make things, you know. And that's why that show was created, to give light to the other crafters, not to bring light really to ourselves, but to help other women go and get known and shown, like yourself, that we love having you on the show to, to just tell everybody, hey, this is a wonderful woman. That she has a creative space. She has this Omega Radio, and at the same time, you're helping two with one, and that's what we love to do in that show.
Well,
And
you can find
yeah.
our wonderful friends with Jeanette and Jenny on
Mhm.
YouTube, having fun with J and J on Fridays at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it's a great way to end your week and kick off a terrific weekend. So
Mhm.
we are asking everyone, because Omega Radio is a listener supported station, to plant a seed and help support our show. I am very proud to be an Omega Radio sponsor, and I know there are a bunch of sponsors out there that are proud to be so too. If you have an inspiring story about Omega Radio, if you're an artist with a great story to share, call in, write me, send a direct message to any social media platform, and I will find you. We are so happy to be here and so happy to have our good friend Jeanette Jordan with us as
Thank
well. Anything we talk about here, we'll post on our various social media platforms in Omega Radio. We have the YouTube channel, and you can, if you would like, join us on Facebook at any time. So jump right in. We'd love to have you.
Yes, that is great. And we always invite people to, because Omega Radio does have a beautiful message. I hear it all the time on my station. I'm always listening to it, and the message is good. Sometimes I feel like getting into it too. Whoever's coming away, let me in there.
Well, I tell you what, I want to offer a real shout out to all our wonderful friends here in the Omega Radio family. My terrific engineer, Minister Aparna. She always makes me look good no matter what happens. And
Yes, she
you
is
too.
wonderful.
And we are so blessed to have her. The bishop and his wife have been absolutely wonderful to us. Pastor Liz is an amazing pastor in her own right. It's amazing to hear her speak. And we love to invite everybody to come visit. We would love to see you. Just give the office a
Mhm.
call, give the station a call, and in the meantime, we'll see you next week. Y'all be kind to each other. We are here every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on 101.9 FM, Omega Radio. Loving art and understanding in the creative space. From all the pain, I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful, beautiful. Tune in and listen. Creative Space on Omega Radio every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Your host, Catherine Shapiro.
I want to thank you for tuning in to The Creative Space with Catherine Shapiro, a proud sponsor of Omega Radio. You can catch The Creative Space here on the Station of the Stars every Wednesday at 11 a.m. until 11:15. Keep it locked in right here. Don't go anywhere. We got more proud sponsors coming your way.